The water situation for our region has escalated this week as supplies dwindle. Taps are on and off again and pressure is down, meaning that the wet stuff can't even reach second and third floors in some areas. Reports from the Eastern Water Resources Department dated the 10th of April indicate that reservoirs have hit rock bottom, so water is being extracted from other sources such as rivers in Chonburi Province and Chachoengsao. Concerns continue too for the demand needed by the eastern seaboard business sector, and everyone is asked to conserve water wherever possible. Many with tanks are buying from trucks, but the reminder remains that despite the low pressure, having a booster pump between your tank and the supply is not only illegal, but basically stealing water from your neighbours. Pattaya's new ring fence system goes into effect today. The 8 road checks will be in effect from this morning, but it's important to note that they'll be unmanned throughout much of the day, simply to acquaint drivers with the new routing. This afternoon from 2 o'clock, checks will be light again to acquaint drivers, but from tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock through to the 10 o'clock curfew, when vehicles must be off the streets anyway, the full checking will be in effect. Those who don't need to go into the city or leave it are best to keep off the Sukhumvit, as most drivers will, despite mass publicity, likely not have all documents needed, and delays from tomorrow are inevitable. However, after 3 to 4 days, travellers will adapt and queues will shorten for sure. The way it's set up is that those needing to leave the city for work or go to the airports will be checked too. But for those living outside the ring fence, access to all the supermarkets and the hospital on the Sukhumvit should be easy. The key is that there's a through lane for those not going into the city, and that's been established so that those not turning in should be able to travel unimpeded. However, the easiest route for those is the railway road, which will be clear of checks. It's expected that the Khao Low exit onto the Sukhumvit will be blocked, but all other major exits will be open for use. And don't forget, if you're attempting to cross the divide, go to a 7-Eleven shop first and get the application form. Fill it out before you get to the road checks. The effect on business here has become evident this week, seeing many throw in the towel and others struggling. Those few that remain open, hardware stores and the like, are seeing little foot traffic. Supermarkets are of course doing well, but for businesses closed down due to the regulations, it's become a nightmare. There may be light at the end of the tunnel, however, as we're told that some, if not all, may be allowed to open again on the 1st, but that depends on the epidemic having subsided. In most cases, rents have remained the same, despite some decent landlords giving reductions. The concern, though, is that many are taking rent holidays along with holidays on car payments, insurance and the like. And that, of course, is helpful, but it does mean at some point they'll have to pay back and play catch-up. And it's recognised that even when the global epidemic subsides, the travel tap won't just turn on with gushing numbers of tourists straight away. In the capital, the government has authorised the release of 1 trillion baht from various government agencies towards COVID treatment and care. Here, the City Hall and the Mayor's team are working tirelessly on the 2 main issues, COVID control and water supply, and their teams have and will be out monitoring. A meeting is due this evening to review the test phase for the new road check system, and the Mayor, along with his deputy and team, are being seen more and more around the city too. A huge issue for tourist regions is the remaining tourists who, for whatever reason, didn't leave at their end of their planned stay. Cancelled flights didn't help, but there are many flights now from Bangkok outbound, and it's recommended that tourists look carefully towards leaving, and thus relieving their own plight and that of the locations they're staying in. Whilst visa extensions have been issued automatically to most to alleviate queuing at immigration offices, tickets to Europe are on sale for as little as 22,000 baht, and there are plenty of seats. As we recommended yesterday, visit the airline websites directly. Just Google them. Eva Air, for example, Qatar, and others too. In Pattaya, food donations for those on the poverty line have seen many setting up food giveaway stalls and have been amazed by the numbers arriving in need. They all welcome donations from the public to keep the free food flowing. And in addition, we welcome donations at both our studio in Soi Chaya Pruk opposite the indoor sports stadium between 11 and 3, and between midday and 7 you can drop off donations at the Loft pub on the lake too. All will be passed on to those who work to help the less fortunate. And with the reminder, mitts, masks and meters. Wash your hands, wear a mask and keep social distances. And the Met Office promising highs today of 32, dropping down to 27, with a good chance of rain today. That is the local and national news from Fab FM. For videos and, of course, to keep up with fabulous Pattaya, visit alwayspataya.com.